Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while, and we're back with Black Widow. Kernan saw it last night. I saw it 2 nights ago. I've had some time to think about it. I was disappointed. I'll start with that.
This could very well be the recency bias talking, but I really enjoyed it.
I got the feeling watching this movie that it felt like it was made to check off a box, and they did not put in the effort to really try and make it a meaningful and complete movie. It started off strong, and I was like really invested and intrigued and all that stuff. And then by the last third of the movie, it just completely fell apart.
I mean, I totally agree with that. I think the first, 2/3 are much better than that last, third act.
Well, it started off with that scene with Black Widow's fake secret family and all that, and it went to this really cool opening credits thing.
I love that opening scene.
I know, but then we never learned what the mission was. When they got back from that airplane, the Stranger Things guy gave someone like a little tape or something. We have no idea what that was unless I missed something.
I think I kind of filled in my head that it was the research for the mind control thing, but I don't think they actually said that. I think that's
I don't know,
just
maybe.
me.
I mean, it's possible we missed something. And speaking of the villain guy, he was terrible. The entire movie, they're trying to hunt down this guy, and we have no idea who he is, or where he came from, or what he's doing. We don't know who we're chasing the entire movie. They try to fill in this villain guy with Taskmaster, who was just a huge letdown. We didn't get to see any of the mimicking stuff, really. I mean, you could see where it was being implemented, but they did not highlight it in any way. And it's the daughter that they talked about in one scene, and we're supposed to care about, I guess, because Black Widow thought that she killed her.
Back in Loki, or back in Avengers, Loki was like, hey, Black Widow, you killed Dracov's daughter. That was a callback from the first Avengers.
So that's our complete history of that character, that one conversation with Loki in Avengers. It felt like they expected us to know all this backstory and stuff that they never told us. This movie, I feel like, could have been really good in Phase 1 as a true origin story, like the other stuff going on in Phase 1. That would have been really interesting to see this Red Room and this whole operation and all that. Like I said, it felt like they just made it now to check off a box.
What did you feel about all the action? Because I felt that there was a lot of it.
There was a lot of action, and that's kind of what I was going to say. This was way too action-focused. The plot was very clearly coming secondary to the action. Mm-hmm. And the action was very good. I will say that.
Yeah.
The action, it had this kind of realism to it. I will say there were way too many times where Black Widow should have been dead, and she came out of it without a scratch on her. But
that's what I was going to say.
Other than that, the action was really good.
I feel like in the first and third act in particular, it feels like mostly action and, like you were saying, little story.
The other thing, as I look at my notes here, they got a column of good and a column of bad. The column of bad is a lot bigger, fortunately. Along with the action, which I do think was really good, I think the family, the fake family or whatever, especially the sister, they were really kind of what made this movie watchable. Like that and the action, and it was hilarious because there are some serious topics that this movie handles, but it was also really funny for a movie like that.
Everyone's talking about, Yelena, the sister, was so funny. And really, she didn't stand out, in particular to me.
She did to me.
The family and the movie as a whole were both very funny, but there wasn't anyone who, really stood out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have in the good column. What else do you got?
Alright, we've assessed that we both don't really like what was happening with Taskmaster. Also because the trailers really made it seem like Taskmaster was the main villain.
And it's such an intriguing character too, with a very intriguing set of abilities, and it was pretty much wasted.
But I really feel like the guilt Natasha felt for blowing her up, I felt that was a pretty fun thing to explore.
I don't feel like they really explored that, though. They didn't take the time to explore that, really.
I mean, that's fair. You're kind of right. Oh, there's just another Russian super soldier now.
Oh, yeah. Where did he come from?
Because
Like, are you saying the Russians developed the same kind of abilities
I
back
mean, I
then?
guess. I feel like I would love to see all these characters again. I would love to see, like, Red Guardian as, like, a superhero.
Maybe. You could make it like a kind of comedy movie. So, this is kind of a small thing, kind of, depending on how you look at it. But that prison break sequence, that really bothered me because by the end of it, an avalanche ends up killing everyone there. They just move on from that like nothing
Yeah.
happened. Black Widow was all trying to, move on from killing people and try to feel better about that stuff, and then she killed like thousands of people.
I see what you're saying. I feel the same way. Though I think that action sequence is so good. In the beginning, we know, like, what needs to be obtained. We need to get Red Guardian and leave. And it's very childish of me, but, like, that moment where the avalanche almost gets Alexi, like, but they scoop him up, like, in the avalanche. Oh, it's just so cool.
Let's discuss kind of like the messaging they're trying to do because they totally messed that up too. It was there for a second, you kind of saw what they were trying to say, and then they just blew it all up with one dumb line that made it clear, like I was saying, that they were not trying to put in the effort to really make this like a meaningful thing. They were just checking off boxes. And that's another thing that really bothered me with this.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
I think we can now discuss probably what you are most excited to discuss. Well, we can talk about the post-credit scene. You want to talk about that?
I do. The thing is, right now, we really don't know when this post-credit scene takes place. We know it takes place after Endgame. We know that Val and Yelena have been, like, Yelena has been, like, a kind of, like, assassin for Val, I guess. Her next target is she's going to try and kill Clint because she thinks he killed Natasha.
I think I'm starting to see where this is going because in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, she showed up and she was trying to, like, recruit the other Captain America guy, right? So it seems like she's trying to put her own team together or something.
Also, I think Val is working with Thunderbolt Ross, Thaddeus Ross, and the team they're forming with John Walker, U.S. Agent, and Yelena is the Thunderbolts.
Right. That's what people are talking about.
It's a team of, like, anti-heroes who I think are, like, assassins in the comics. I'm not quite sure.
What exactly happened at the end of the movie when everyone else left and Natasha stayed there and was being surrounded by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents or something? Because she didn't just get captured, because we saw later on in the movie she was free. Like the next scene. So are we assuming that she fought her way through all those people?
Way. It was a giant team of military with guns, and she was just standing.
And if that happened, why did you not show me that? Because I want to see
that would have been cool. I think it would make sense if maybe it was like Scott Lang or Hawkeye who was facing the military, because they ended up making a deal. But Natasha just went on a run.
She went on the run.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. So, do you have anything else to say?
No.
I would say, overall, it's entertaining enough. It's got the action and the humor and the dynamic between those core characters that make it entertaining enough, but it's frustrating. That was the, like, number one thing that I walked out of the theater with, was kind of like frustration. But it was entertaining enough. So it might change on a rewatch. I don't know. It might be better after rewatching it. I don't know. But for right now, it's right near the bottom of my MCU list,
really?
I would say.
Wow. For me, it was entertaining, enjoyable. Probably, like, on the top half of my MCU list.
Really?
Really.
I guess that's it then. We'll be back soon for a Loki review of the whole series. All right. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.